Christie, these go to you or Dawn?
Yeah.
Morning, Jason. Well, it is 9 a.m. so we can. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Don.
Apologize in advance.
Quite all right. Any additions or corrections to the minutes of our previous meeting?
I have one correction. Second paragraph, the minutes from December 22nd, which should be the 22nd, not the 21st. That's the only thing I found.
You see where that's at, Christie? Right up on top. Anything else? Is there a motion to approve the corrected minutes? Okay, is there a second to that? Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Angie, are you here for public comment?
I am. I am here to let you guys, I will be attending the State of the State address because a veteran from our area is gonna be recognized there. So I just kind of thought you guys would like that information.
When is that?
January 12th.
Can we ask who the veteran is? Or is it not?
Not yet.
Okay, that's fine.
Not yet. Not yet. We'll know. But that's all I had to say. Okay.
Thanks, Lon. Thank you.
It's me.
I'm gonna guess.
Oh, sure, that's all right.
I'm gonna guess.
That could be.
Did you hear it? Can you see that?
Oh,
I'm gonna guess.
yeah.
Oh. Should be deserving, right?
Christie, do you have the resolution for us on the authorization to invest?
would.
The resolution for authorization to invest. You have it?
No,
Oh, the reorganization.
I think you're telling me to do that first.
Oh, yeah, I think you're probably right. Yeah. Thank you for correcting us on that. Forget we're in the new year, aren't
Yeah, so far seems like a deal.
we? For 2021, we officers.
Nominate Dennis. Continue to be our
Second
chairman.
that, Jared Jensen for chairman. Are there any other nominees?
Or did you get a second on that? Or
Yeah,
did-
Tim, did you get that done? Okay.
Make a motion nomination cease.
Protocol would be nomination cease and a unanimous ballot cast.
So moved.
Gelt, second on that. Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. The vice chair, nominations.
Yeah.
Tom nominates Tim. Is there a second to that?
Second.
Tom will second that. Are there any other nominations? That same motion?
Yeah.
Regel moves that nomination cease and the unanimous ballot be cast. All in favor of that, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is appointments of the official newspapers and chattel mortgage sales. Last year, we used the three that are in the county, the Courier, Russell Review, and Wilmot Enterprise. Looks like we've got other things here too. Let's see. Are they, is she lumping in a commissioner member to the weed board with all of that, A, B, C, and D?
Yeah.
Yes, she will.
To me, yeah.
Okay. And commissioner member to the extension board. Last year, we had Commissioner Zempel and myself in that order.
It worked out very well. I'd take that motion.
Railroad's back. Motion by Carlson. Is there a second?
Second.
Tom. Okay. And we've got, let's see. And we had appointments last year for Gelt to grow, Carlson for first planning. I am still on their board, private sector member. Carlson and Johnson oversee landfill operations. I was appointed to Glacial Lakes Board, Red River Basin. Carlson, legislative liaison member, Carlson and Zempel, 911 board / law enforcement committee. Johnston, community transit board. Burial, let's see here, what do we have? Burial rates, $3,600 plus up to $500 for opening and closing, billed by grave digger. Planning and zoning, all commissioners, apparently that's what that means. Planning and zoning meetings will be held on the third Tuesday of each month. That was just a new change there, commissioners, and the director of equalization will not charge if the meetings are held on the days when the commissioners are in session. or during the regular business day of the Director of Equalization. Is that correct? Don't we have a provision for special meetings?
Special meetings, but are they saying that if you have it on the same day as the regular commission, you wouldn't have to pay that special fee? That's what I'm getting out of it.
Okay, is that how you read that?
Yes.
What I'm getting out of it.
Okay, then we're good. Commissioner's salary, what's that?
Well, it says
I don't,
not held when the commissioners are in session or the regular business day of the Director of Equalization. Well, that's every day.
yeah, that should be scratched.
That should be scratched.
Period, at the end of
Yeah, session.
commissioners are in session. Get check, Christie? Okay. Commissioner's salary, $850 per month. Chairman receiving $900 per month. That's no change from 2020. Mileage, 42 cents per mile. That's no change from 2020. Election workers, $12 per hour, and that's the same for what we had in 2020. Is the board comfortable with all of that?
I would question, do you think, Christie, do you think that $12 per hour for election worker is that, comparable to others, or what do you think?
It is an increase from what they've gotten.
Yeah.
We don't have an election in 21, so I don't know if I'm really worried about it. So 22.
We were at $10 previously,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so the 12, they were happy,
Election.
I mean, not that they were happy with it, but we have trouble finding workers. And they worked for 12 bucks an hour during the pandemic, so, I mean, most people said yes. I've heard people that said no, they would refuse to work, so. I don't know. I think they deserve more, because it's a long day, to be honest with you.
And even though we don't have an election, I think.
Oh,
we
right,
really
you
would need to.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, it's not gonna affect it anyway.
No, but
No, I mean, I think they deserve way more than that. It's a long day for some of them people.
I think one of the workers told me she was working 18 hours that day.
Yeah,
It was one
so,
of the
yeah,
last.
assistant precincts, they
Because
were
there
there
was
till
some
midnight.
combined precincts with theirs.
Yeah, we expect a lot out of those assistant precincts. Just because we had to condense workers, because we couldn't have as many people. They were there till midnight, one of the precincts was.
And they started, even before the polls opened, they started at like 6 a.m., right? So it's.
Yeah, I think it deserves more.
Okay.
like what?
Oh, what, I don't know what other counties pay them, really, to be honest with you. I don't. I know this, I think the school paid one. So that's my mom, she worked the school election, I don't even know. At least $1, 13, they could do 14 when we have election here. I don't know.
Buck this year, a buck next year.
All right, Christie, we're moving that to $13 per hour.
Okay. And all the board members keep, all that stuff stays the same from last year, right? Rowe and everybody else.
This board, yeah.
Yep.
Is there a motion to approve the appointments and the entries on Simpson's poll election workers? Okay, thank you. Any second to that? Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Thank you. Yes, we have the authority. We do any swearing in?
When you do that, too, no way.
When Kay comes up, is there a swearing in?
I would, I mean, as far as Dylan and.
Us.
Us.
Oh.
I
I think
think
I know we have
to
keys.
repeat the oath.
I think there is, yeah.
I would,
I think only if you're new, aren't you?
No,
Well, at least there's something to sign.
These are
Maybe
the,
that's what, yeah,
No,
that's
no,
the
these are-
resolution, I guess.
no, this is for, cause this is to authorize Mark Long to do something and the fee schedule. Building permits. And to me, all these resolutions have to be signed, and this is one for, to make a motion for those, I don't know when you wanna do those.
Okay, well, we got time till she gets here, so.
She may not be here anymore.
Okay, yeah, this is authorizing our county treasurers to invest county funds. Resolution 2021.
Here's the first district meeting. That requires discussion, that's what she gave me.
Yeah, we. Okay, that's
You want me to
911.
go text her quick?
911.
She's still in town. She just already went home.
Dawn?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you might ask her about the swearing in, or at least the signing of the documents. Something you want to do once you do. Okay, good morning. Okay. You just.
Sort it out, right?
There's someone in town that helps people sign up for, supplemental coverages for the Medicare.
Yeah, Diane Odland does that. Diane Odland, she's the Shine volunteer.
Oh, okay, Shine, okay, someone mentioned that.
Diane Odland. Shine, I can't remember what it stands for, seniors, whatever that.
Okay, she said yes, she forgot to get them done, but I can do them quick, like we could do it next week if you want to, it's up to you. Just for the 3 new ones, I mean, you could, right, because they already had them. So what she thought,
You too.
you had newly elected too,
Yeah. And then I'll be on it.
Yeah.
Fill the vacancy.
yeah.
Is that something Dylan would do next week?
Oh, he's here, sorry, he's here.
He's here, but she's not really a,
I'm a notary, I can swear you in.
for swearing in? Okay.
I even have my seal, my stamp seal in my purse, so yeah, if you want to get sworn in, I can
So
swear you in.
just the 3, right? That's okay. If you want me to, I mean, I can probably find him on the computer.
You can.
So maybe you want to do
Might
it.
as well, Kate's giving a report, or you got Dylan coming?
I think so, I didn't stop at the office on my way, because I came straight from home. So
Oh,
I
okay.
got stuff on the chip then, but
You
you
got to
asked
sleep in
about
a
last
little
week.
bit this morning. Ready to ease it into retirement health.
This fleet thing we talked about last week, where they put that equipment on top cars, that bill was almost, what, 9?
Just over 9,000.
Yeah, plus, as soon as the customer provides the radio, the cameras, the trim pro, and all any other.
There's a note down here that says, ask Kay if we can bill parents.
We have to supply. both
Yeah.
The cameras, the radios, the trim pro.
It should- there should be a
any other
special
equipment required
fund
to complete the bill.
that you have
So on top of
in
it,
terms of abuse and neglect cases, that's comes out of.
$9,500 bill.
But yeah, I
installment.
think it gets billed back, at least to the,
Got a nice little
at
business
least the
there.
mom who is declared to be abused, or neglected.
Panel on it.
Oh, yes,
trying to get vehicles and sinking the
Dylan has,
You what?
Well, I mean,
Dylan
I
said
was in
family
check
has
last
said.
week.
Oh, well, it was on here.
Maybe we put too much stuff on these things.
On the taste of this.
You don't have to say, like I said, the price of the vehicle, that seems high, but.
I mean, the vehicle was 32,000, you got 10 grand plus the materials you gotta buy to make that work, that's pretty steep.
There you go. Mhm. Yeah. Getting one?
No.
It's just the usual Tuesday morning delay, getting ready for court, so he'll be over in a few.
Supposed to be found in the document, she's getting them printed out right now, so.
Did you sign your name 3 times yet?
I wasn't chairman until today, so
Oh, okay.
I guess that one could have been a safe bet, but that's all right.
when you guys look at this one, they by mistake Xed out the 450, so it should be included in this.
What do you think?
Well,
I think I got her stuff on it.
thank you.
Yeah, because you're appointed,
We're
this
gonna
time,
read
right? Yeah,
the receipts that-
What?
You're appointed, right?
Right.
So I can change, I have you as elected, I call him as elected, appointed.
Is there a narrative for Kay to,
See, that's,
Well,
for a
that-
narrative for her to say something, no? Would you have to? well,
If
raise
you
her right
want it, I
hand?
will read it, you guys can say I do, and then you sign it.
Okay.
What's that?
We read that?
No, I will read it, I will say, raise your right hand.
Okay.
Do
These two are
do
elected.
Each of you
Okay.
hereby solemnly swear that you will support, I'll do that, and then you guys can sign it on notarize,
Okay.
right? So whenever you're ready.
Will work? Will work?
Yeah, those will work.
Gentlemen, we need to be sworn in.
Raise your right hand. Do you and each of you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of South Dakota, and that you will faithfully and impartially, to the best of your knowledge and ability, perform all the duties of your office of Roberts County Commissioner? If so, say I will.
I will.
Okay. Jim? Tom? Dennis? Sign, please.
When I see your members, I think the junior members like shave off before us. Stamp these things for me.
I thought that was provided for senior.
You're a senior. That's for sure.
You signed in the wrong blanket.
Oh.
You want me to print it out? Here, you want some white out? I can print it, I can just print it.
You got a white out? Okay, whiter out. Kinda have to. Thank you.
Chester, yes.
Sorry.
Okay.
You need one more.
Thank you.
Oops, sorry. Do we need any more verbiage than this, or is that sufficient?
That sounds good to me.
Okay. Shortest legal contract I've ever seen.
I don't know if Dylan was drafting anything else or not. We talked a little bit. I did stop in at the office yesterday and for a minute because I needed to double check and pick up the TIF file.
We need a motion to approve Kay as contract services with the state's attorney's office at the rate of $25 per hour. Motion by Tim, second by Fay. Any discussion? All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Bye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kay.
Oh, does this mean I can now turn on my clock and, I'll say it for a second. I did go back and review the TIF number 3 documents. And I think, even though it seems strange to me, I do think that the monies that they expended prior to the TIF actually being created as part of the project cost. So you were okay to go ahead and do whatever at this point. One of the questions I looked at was, when the original TIF resolution was passed, the project cost estimated $250,000 as the max rather than $350,000. But there was language in that said that could be administratively changed. And in the actual developer contract between the county and the developer, the figures all talk about no more than $350,000 with no interest. And so I think you're okay to go with what they proposed a couple weeks ago in terms of terminating TIF number 2. I think those expenses are legitimate development costs of the TIF. The road work, most of that was road work, I think, had gotten done in 2004, 2005 through 2007 before it actually got granted, but it was clearly related to the project, and I think it was followed with the grant portion of the project costs, so I think you're okay to do that. Do you have any questions?
I think it's our desire to shut it down, right?
It is.
Get done with it.
Yeah, it is.
Dawn didn't want me to discuss it, but here's the resolution that I'm thinking that we just talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, let's just the Pam comes back to 2014.
If you were gonna discuss it, let's give it.
They started doing some work,
You wanna wait?
engineering and all that kind of stuff in 2004, but that was all part of the project. And that's what their $350,000 grant is part of the
Maybe that's
project.
my copy then.
It's not all of the costs, and you have to fully fund everything the developer after.
Or it is on the agenda, so you could make that one.
So, but those would be legitimate development costs, the things that would be covered, project costs that were covered under the project, so. Even though, yeah, they did it as they were developing, short of whatever they call it.
So then, based on what Dawn provided us with, if we pay that last bill for $18,000, we're almost $125,000, $680. What can it'll be done?
Right, we need to match them up with some,
As long as we're not above $350,000, then you're good.
it's reimbursement, so they'll have, as long as they can submit it, say, well, here's unpaid bill we paid it, that's not been reimbursed.
Well, like last week, didn't they provide us a canceled checks? Is that not adequate?
Yes, they add up.
I did not have those.
I didn't either.
I think that's what the spreadsheet that accompanied it was supposed to do. But I didn't double check the spreadsheet against the circuit checks.
We dissolved the TIF without releasing all of the funds until there's a true and accurate accounting of the expenses?
If we look at the spreadsheet they provided us, you know, it goes from July 2004 through bills paid, June of 2010, and that's on the road for 304,000. You know, and then
Because the other
there should
bills,
be,
engineering, consulting, and other, would put us well over that 350.
714, we spent 69, you know, 15, 16, you know, none of that is included in that.
My advice is that once you have figured out for sure that your grant to them is not exceeding the $350,000, you could determine that you may want to double check it. Having get a question answered before you actually, you can pass the resolution. If you've got questions about how this to exactly, I just looked at that too. It's $304,000 that was spent on roads, $77,000 on engineering. Well, obviously that's about $350,000. And obviously the increment has been paid for things over the, you know, past, 8 years, whatever it's been since they, 7, 8 years, so. Once you've got the numbers and you're satisfied that the numbers are okay, the development agreement said that you would pay the developers up to $350,000 as a grant under the terms of the TIF. So make sure their numbers and your numbers all match, and then you're good to go. I'm not gonna guarantee that I can do the numbers for this one.
This is what Don has paid, you know, including the outstanding bills. There's a balance of $125,681 left. So do these bills,
I don't know, that's, there's bills in there too. I was looking at that earlier, there's bills, I don't know if they're full that they have. That is paid. It's short of the well, I don't know what to spend it on.
But you may want to know,
Grab that resolution, sure.
one of the Mr. Graff and Mr. Morrison to walk you through how they're coming up with what they're entitled to and what they're not. Or if they're not even, if they got the $350,000, and anything that's left, that I think it's distributed on a prorated basis to the taxing entities. So the county, the school district, and the district, if there is one down there, stuff with Jeff. Anything that would be left.
You've got check numbers here, so you can check each of them against the checks.
But you're probably not ready today to do the resolution. I just make sure I would make sure all of your numbers and you're happy with them, that you're comfortable with the numbers and stuff. And then you can go and terminate and stuff. But some of those costs, if you're looking at saying, well, we've incurred all this other money before we actually got the TIF created, that those would be project costs related to the development of the project and stuff. So that could be credited towards the $350,000 grant that they're supposed to get, but you're gonna need to make sure that your numbers add up, because if they've gotten their $350,000 in payments over time, then anything I would think that's left of the TIF fund would go and be distributed into, because it's the increment that's in there. The county and the township and the annuals, the governmental entities got their baseline taxes based on what the value was when the TIF was created. They've gotten that money every year. But all the increment, anything that's going up above that is what's been used to pay some of that goes into the TIF fund. Well, if the grant to the developers that up to $350,000, once that's paid, if there's still any money left in the TIF fund, I believe that's supposed to then be distributed to the taxing entities.
which I think Don said there was some.
Yes.
Yes.
But you want to make sure your numbers are all right, so you're not in a spitting match with your developers and make sure that everything's taken care of.
I want it over with, but I want it to be right.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna approve another.
So we just have to have Dawn verify that these circle checks are in fact the ones on the spreadsheet? Is that what our question is?
Yeah, because
And then as
we
long-
already know for sure this is what we've expended.
Right.
There's no
Good
question.
point, yeah.
So do those total 125 plus those?
All of these?
Yeah.
Well, in excess of that, I
Yes.
think, yeah. If these are all legitimate
Yeah, if they match.
categories, yeah, you got like $450,000 worth of expenses there. It just, I mean, just briefly looking at it, I look at a check here and I can find it on the spreadsheet, so I assume that the addition's correct, and if you want to verify that, I don't want to go through it again, or I don't know.
Well, I trust that Excel formulas are accurate, myself. If you're comfortable with the checks that are on the spreadsheet total should be,
I would guess that would be it.
it should be accurate.
Tom, you comfortable, or do you want
Well,
He's busy adding numbers.
to? I just spot checked, I mean, I didn't go through every check, but.
well, the check had it for $305,378.
Which
They
is
got
what,
circled.
they were at 304.
And I did that percentage.
Yeah, so.
But when you're looking at, the spreadsheet I was looking at, check number 85054 for 28,000, and it breaks it out down here. And this is more than 28,000. So something doesn't match. Like this one, this one you check 80665, and there's two items there, one to Harms and one to Lewandowski. If you add those totals, it comes up as total. Same way here. But this one doesn't, so they've got 20,000 here, 8,000 here, and 1,800, and only got 28,000 for total, so that number.
That's a smaller number than what the
This is smaller than
the subtotal would be there.
Mhm. See, like this one, dust control and Lewandowski, you add those two, it equals this, but for some reason that. The rest of them all. So either we pay them an incorrect amount, or one of these is not in there.
I would suggest, since Don couldn't be here today, that you might want to
Yeah.
hold off getting any action necessary until that you all are on the same page, and she knows exactly where you're coming from, so that
The other thing is there an issue with liens? If there would be, happen to be any liens on those properties? Or
Yeah.
release it?
We don't have, if you read through the developer contract, that that's now legal, it's not a claim against it.
Know what I'm saying, if they had work done on something, and just based on they filed a lien against the property,
That's a problem for the developer.
not, we're not recommending it. Oh, that's wrong.
That's on them, they gotta make sure that they have that lien.
I think it's just a matter of verifying stuff, and I think it'll be enough there.
That's all I have for you.
Table this for another week then.
Just keep going.
Okay.
Well, right, I have to explain what we're talking about, right? When we know what we're talking
Christie, I didn't notice unless, wasn't there any vouchers in there for the sheriff's deputies?
There should have been.
Yeah, there was.
For the deputies?
Yeah, you could comment about the overtime.
Well,
Yep.
I didn't, where did I miss them?
There should have been four, well, 3 active deputies and 1 got paid out, they're all.
Yeah, they was all pretty healthy.
Yeah, they had healthy checks and then you gave us a hazard pay.
As a sheriff.
Pretty sure they were there yesterday when I double checked.
Yeah, there was.
Is,
There's no none in here. I thought this was all payroll. Oh. We see those?
Okay, they passed a resolution to hire
I
them
just.
for $25 an hour.
Morning.
Motion anyway.
What did they give you, 3?
That's fine.
Welcome, Mr. State's Attorney.
Oh, here's.
Alex.
You just got paid out.
The one thing I have, just to double check that the, now that the first of the year is come and gone, that the State's Attorneys Association thing that I brought in a couple weeks ago, that had been sent or is going to be sent here soon.
It just came through today, I believe,
Okay, perfect.
the bills. I think I saw it.
Did you go over the TIF stuff
Yep.
already?
Confused him as much as I could.
Oh, good, because I was just as confused.
To the point that we tabled it for a week.
Notary? Notary?
Oh, yes, both myself and I'm wanting to have Morgan get, our notaries, so there's more than one of us just over in the office for various things. Especially when Becky's gone, I need somebody over there other than myself to notarize the charging documents and stuff. I'll be talking to the courier here soon to get our stamps and stuff working and go through the process of getting this notarized. But question I did have, there's a bonding that needs to happen with that, so does that just come through the county?
Do you know who we bought your bond through? Is it?
I was bonded and stuff long before that, so I did mine privately. The county didn't pay for mine. I'm not sure what Gary did when he had everybody out at so many people out at the jail done. He went through one of the local insurance places. Mine personally have gone through PKT Insurance the last couple of times I've renewed mine. The last couple times I renewed my notary, I went through bonding through I think it's Nationwide or something, through PKT Insurance down at First Savings Bank. But I'm not sure, when Barry had several dispatchers or jail personnel, so that they always had somebody on to notarize out at the jail. I'm not sure who he used or what they did to get the bonding and stuff done for the notaries
I
there.
don't know who Jay used either,
Or, yeah, and I'm not, you can check with Jay or whomever
or even Sharon.
about who they've used or how you've done that in the past, but
Dawn's got it right at the top of her head.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's all. I can tell you it's a $5,000 bond and the rate is $50. So it's, there's plenty of places in town that'll do the
Just see
bond.
where Jay went, he just got hit in the same registered fees. Maybe the newest one. See what Jay did. That's my advice.
I think that's everything I have, you guys have anything?
So, good.
Alrighty. Put it up to court then. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Refresh my memory. How many owners do we allow the nurse?
Good luck, Dave.
Thanks.
And why am I seeing 40, 39, and 37?
You want visa?
Early on, she just
Visa?
affirmated, I guess, I don't know, but yeah, it was 30 hours, I'm pretty certain of that. She would determine what her hours were going to be.
Okay.
Hello, guys. You wanna hold that
These
one
are-
back there, Jay? You wanna hold that one back until?
Well, we'll have to pay it, but
Yeah, so don't forget it, or you probably won't. You probably won't. have to mention it.
I'm giving you the right ones. I'm not giving, no, I'm not giving you the right ones. That's it, that's the year-end goals. You want to see these?
Just got yellow.
so this is January 4th, good?
That was good enough.
Hey, you're nice to
So
us.
this is the right, because you know,
You're living here.
it's the other way.
She's pretty, she's been here in Vegas, isn't she?
From January 1, 2020 to December 31st, 2020.
We need that, I want to do. And that.
Work on that.
Yeah.
I just dawned on it.
You got one already, okay?
Yeah, so what the charging? They actually have like,
Just for the year-end goals, we are, it's exactly about the same as 2018 and 2019. And she's got 2020 right there with 14,030 ton written on the bottom. There you go.
So did everybody get this?
I only made one copy of it.
You guys have copies?
Yeah.
Make,
Return
We
to.
should have 18 and 19 already in file. That's one.
Got the back.
we need five.
Yeah, all right.
Six, but one for you, I suppose. Dawn.
We did, the 14,189 and 19, and the 14,273 and 18, and the 14, something where it was on it, so 14 in 2020, so we're saying right there, the totals. On the custom report, we got that, one on the top there, 196. I just sent on a email, they want to do it electronically. So I sent her the information by email, so they're gonna do that electronically through Dawn.
That's that Casey's.
Yep. We just heard from them yesterday and they wanted the information, or something, information stuff, so they can send it electronically. And all them little entities, I guess they're not working very hard yet, not very much, working in the offices, I guess, so. But, everything's going pretty good out there, just getting this new design and pit permit going here, so we can get that going right away. That's basically my own concern out there, is to get that done, because I'm getting full.
But the file looking bigger from the road.
That looks like our one gentleman, number 8, only paid $400 on his bill.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, that's all they paid this last period.
Everything went all right with the holiday schedule, you didn't get any complaints from anybody? Okay, right. I talked to the one individual, I don't ever got back to you, when they told him what we planned, he just said, okay, fine, that was it, pretty much, he wasn't, didn't seem upset or anything, so I just.
No, I think that, I think that we over busy yesterday, so after it, or the day after. What we got in the process right now, we're accepting, 190 ton of canola seed from Cargill and Fargo. And, I contacted them and got their paperwork and stuff and sent it off to the state. And they, said, no problem, just gotta be put in the pit. But the good thing about it, you don't even know it's there once you push it over. The seed's smaller than a BB.
Mix it right in.
190 tons.
190 ton. I did call them and I made an agreement with them that we'd accept it, but I'm gonna raise the rate up to $60 a ton instead of my 52 for our state. So they're paying $60 a ton, for that 190 ton.
That's pretty good. Pretty good.
That's from Fargo?
It's coming out of Cargill, out of Fargo.
Roots like that.
Why would they come here?
North Dakota considers it as an industrial waste, and Fargo, is into capacity for industrial waste. The state here does not say, as long as it wasn't processed, that is not industrial waste, so we can accept it. It came basically right out of the field, was dumped on their floor by their hoppers. They were gonna put it in their hoppers and put it in their bins for later processing. The skid steer that they're using, blew a big hose and shot 6 gallons of diesel fuel, hydraulic oil, over this 190 ton. So they had to kill the whole 190 ton off,
Oh my goodness.
over 6
Oil's
gallons.
oil, right?
Huh?
Oil's oil, right? Canola oil,
Yeah.
diesel oil.
So,
Why wouldn't they allow you to, like, well, not recycle, but what do you call, turn it over and compost it,
Sure, contaminated, so it has to go in the blood.
just get that little bit of oil in there, yeah,
It's
compost.
hydraulic oil, man, 190 ton.
190 ton over 6 gallons.
Would be negligible, wouldn't it?
It's doing us a lot of good, so I can.
Exactly, yeah, but that's.
Oh, then you drop it off, we can, dispose of it over the garbage and just fill every little crack you got to do nothing.
When I see these corn piles sitting around with pigeons on top of them,
Yeah, that's not bad.
contamination. Okay.
You hope that's just going to the ethanol plant, right, they're not making sugar out of it.
Yeah,
$11,400 for that.
oh gosh. Okay.
That's pretty nice, because it keeps
It's so fine that it filters right down in there.
It's smaller than flaxseed.
It'll help fill in the cracks, it'll sit in there.
They push it out by the time it gets to here to the other end of the building, it's buildable, you don't know where it's at,
That'll be darn.
so.
Are they bringing it all at once?
Yeah, they got one load last Thursday just to see how it worked in the roll-off boxes, because they got lining for that small seed. And, so then they figured they could do it, so they brought us, 4 roll-off boxes full yesterday, and they're gonna try to get us 8 today. And then it should be pretty close and figured, but maybe one more, round, so,
No headache for you.
no. Nope. Easy. With decent money.
Sweet.
Are there any delays in the permitting then on opening that new cell in terms
I was
of?
gonna stop at Larry to talk to him about this, I just briefly talked to him the other day, and they had it in the paper. You know, you can test it, and you cannot contest it, so, and they were gonna talk to Larry about if it was too many holdings, to have that overlap, I can piggyback the start of it, and apparently that's what they put in the paper, so if they didn't get no objections, it should be permissible. So then I'll go right over Larry after this, talk to him about it, see if he's here.
Okay.
I tried to get him out there and just do some surveying, so I'm gonna have to fill every inch I got out there. Get us into that pit. Other than that, she's going good, had no concerns.
Good.
Good.
Can you hear it?
You get to lead to, Bill?
Yes, Tony Hanish did it, and, he bid it at 3,800 with some of the material and stuff I come up with. He got it down to 2,600.
Oh, it's done.
It is done.
Good.
It's looking good.
Okay.
So all that said, if there are no more questions. I'm gonna leave it right.
Enjoy your smooth sailing, because it always changes.
Yeah. Mother Nature's not doing too bad, it's a little breezy. Even above ground. Try to keep it from going around.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you. Pause for the cause.
We'll find out, not now. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna vote no on that freaking tip.
I can't see the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, if we can come up with numbers, we're going totally. Yeah, my town feel the same way, I think. What's that? I don't.
It was on
I gotta see some.
How much?
So enough midnights in my life, I guess.
That's it.
Two, no. Yeah. Me and somebody else. Oftentimes my wife tunes in to check up on me.
I hope it is. I mean, this, well, we paid a lot of bills today.
The chair, she wants to come in and get going. Good morning again.
Howdy. To Washington, this is, flying out to Washington, this is.
You? You and Christie?
I got a background there, Timmy.
Okay.
I don't have a lot, I just got a couple things, so I'm sure you're going on your schedule. You know. You got fuel quotes for the month of January for the small shops. And I got a quote from CHS was $2.04 for number one, and $2.09 for ethanol. And you would not believe it, but when I got this morning, I got a call. So we're gonna have to flip a coin.
Really? That doesn't happen often, does it?
No, it was 209 for ethanol and 204 for Biggs and CHS. And I was like, wow, that don't happen. We've had it where they tied on either one or the other, you know, and had to flip a coin, but not on everything.
Stilson's been good.
No, Stilson's don't usually bid on the small things. We only bids for the big stuff. And I was sending that, you know, off the big stuff to all of them. And Paul's too, but he doesn't ever return, so.
Yeah.
The CHS and Biggs, you know, will bid every month on that.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
That's for Biggs.
Sure.
That's for Biggs.
Why don't we do it that way? It's good
Dale.
Dale, goes to CHS, huh?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'll let both of them know that I bid this morning later. The other thing is I'll pass out the revenue for the month of December we talked about last week. Here's one for the end of the year. It was projected to get $38,347.21. We ended up with $31,704.11, so we were $1,356.90.
You have one more?
Oh, you can have another one here. You just have to make copies because I don't have them.
Kim's gonna take care of it.
So then we ended up with $1,356.94, and the total was that 31,000. So that's exactly, you know, what we had. So they ran it off this morning. The treasurer did for us so we could get it in. So, on the bottom, like I said, that never changed for the bridge replacement. I wrote a letter, sent an email this morning back to Cody Axland. And Pierre, he needs to know where we're spending this money for this 425 on the bottom, that bridge replacement money. We write a letter in December every year where we did. Well, what I did is the 404 permits that we got all done in line for this year for changing, putting culverts in for them wooden structures, you know, up north here and all over. I have 5 of them complete with 404 and permission to go ahead, and then we got a few more this year that I'm gonna put on and get 404 so later this summer. So anyway, we'll be working on them so that we can get all those structures replaced with culverts, because that's what this money was allocated for. And then we'll have 222,000 or a little more for this big bridge construction, you know, on East Meadow. So that's, hopefully we get, you know, we're gonna have most of that money spent, and it's gonna be hard on some of these structures to get, you know, all the way used up maybe with all the culverts, but you know, we'll use it. Because the big 9-foot culverts that we replace with on these structures are gonna, you know, it's gonna eat it up quite fast. I'm sure.
Are some of those township roads, are they all county roads?
There is one on the township road north of where Tim works on County Road 9, that's on the township road. That's gonna be later, and then most of them are on the county road, but there is 1 or 2 that.
You're just gonna put a culvert in there, ain't you?
Yeah, we'll be replacing with, most of them are with 2 culverts for the square
But
footage,
they
what they
own the
are.
land,
We put in
whatever.
the exact equal square footage.
Put a bridge in there, put a culvert in there.
So we don't undercut on that, if it needs 2 nines, 2 nines put in, we don't undercut it, you gotta have the same square footage in there, otherwise this money will not be used.
Dave said whatever's the
Can't cut corners on it like everybody wants.
Dave said whatever's the cheapest, it's the low wage again now.
You know, we've replaced them on one before and all over, and then everybody goes, why do you put them 2 big ones, you know? Well, you gotta do the 100-year flood, that's technically the same square footage, so.
No, that Dave, whatever you get in there, he's happy, because they don't land on both sides. of it.
It's on the list, and we just gotta get it, you know, scheduled in for the time period.
Do we have guys out on the road on Wednesday, or was it?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Yeah, we had them out, this, the longest one was, the ambulance had 11 hours because he did his route. We're having trouble with the John Deere, it had the sensor and the water and the fuel kept going off, and he couldn't keep going on his route, so we had to have the ambulance finish on that one. And then, of course, the air conditioner pump locked up just before he got into town, and luckily he got into town was because the buzzers was going off. We didn't know if the alternator went out, and the batteries were bad too, and they're older, they're only 4 years old, but you know, you get a battery 4 or 5 years old. And so we replaced the batteries this morning, and we got the parts this morning, and Tim will have that ready to go today. So, and then we got a sensor part in the down here, and that's all good. He ran it yesterday. So we got no problems there. We thought maybe it was something with water and the fuel, but it wasn't. It was a sensor, basically. So, yeah, we did go out and plow certain roads and went through everything quick and then tried to get out of there. Most of them, some got 5, some got 7s, and Danny got 11. Most of them were out of there right after dinner. So that's all I got today, I guess.
Gravel roads soft enough to be touching them up, yeah.
Yeah, on the gravel, we just gotta be careful, you know, that we're not pulling all the gravel off, we're just getting touch up where there was some. Like, yesterday, there was some under the underpass of, the interstate and certain ones that we didn't get yet. And we went over, did those out there, so. Wait for the other storm to come tomorrow now, it didn't sound like more than 3 inches, so.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're in
Some
that
sand and-
couple of inches, but then that one app said 2 to 4, it's like, yeah, you don't know. So hopefully now we don't, you know, 4 days a week, we're working on a bridge today, the guys have to replace bridge plank on down by way over in the corner by Corona. You know, that bridge on, that bridge, it's all metal deck and you just have a plank laying on it. And then we gotta replace 4 or 5 of them today. And then we worked on the bridge on Clear City yesterday, pulling the rail in and trying to fasten it better on the rail. know, maybe we do that next year. When they did it, see, the road is this wide, and then they just went out a couple feet, and then they put a cement tee, double tee on the outside, and it's sagging, you know, it can't stay on there. They put 2 piling in the middle, but they did put them up far enough to keep it from sagging. So we got that shimmied up yesterday on both sides and on the corners of that, just, and they're filling in the gap on the corner today. So, yeah, we've been working on some wind bridges and stuff like that for maintenance. And then, I don't know if you went down to see the new structure.
I didn't make it down there yet, no.
There's a little snow on the bottom of the hill on the west side, but they're doing good. They're just starting putting the steel piling in on the east side.
Okay.
And they go in over 60 feet in the ground also. They're piling them in.
Wow.
So they got 5 of those to put in. They just put the first one in yesterday and right around after dinner and then watched get the first one. Then they actually had to cut it, put 25 more feet on it, keep pounding it in so they get their right down. So those will be going in today, the rest of them, and then of course the other side too. But they're doing good. Sound like they're gonna keep working now, steady, so that's a good deal. The weather's good. Got a long ways to go, but it is going good.
But a good year for weather-wise so far from us.
Exactly. So, Chuck from LTAP's coming at 1, if he wants to take some pictures, that's local LTAP, you know. Chuck from
Oh, sure.
He wanted to take some pictures today and go look at how the construction's going and so everything is going real good. But that,
I just got one question.
Yes.
You were shopping for a 3-point blower?
yeah, I was talking to Tim about it, yeah.
There might be some deals out there with not much snow, you know.
Well, right.
Did you get anything out of Hortness?
Not yet, but Tim, I was gonna call and talk to him, but Tim, or stop in there, and Tim had mentioned somebody had just bought one from him,
Okay.
and now they're talking about they didn't want to sell it. So I'll be checking into that to see.
Okay.
So that's a local one that we just sold from Hortness,
Okay.
and Tim was mentioning one of the names, so I'll get a number from you, Tim, and then I'll talk.
Once to get done today, I'll swing by there.
You can drop off the number, whatever. Yeah, so I'll be checking into it.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Here's your key.
I would think there'd be a few of them sitting around, you know. I think so.
Greg just got a pile of them on
Yep, thank you. Right on time. Huh? Not a big deal, it's just end of the year stuff. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah.
Alright. Yeah. This one is authorizing Mark, resolution 2021 authorization. Mark Moan, Roberts County Treasurer, to invest county funds to gain maximum interest. You all like the county funds, pretty routine.
The 1%.
What's maximum nowadays? Is there a motion to approve? Don, thank you. Is there a second? Tim? Okay, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carries. So there's a place for everybody to sign. Okay. Resolution 2021-02 is establishing a fee schedule for zoning. The fees would be variance $500, and as we discussed previously, $100 non-refundable deposit, $400 payable when approved. Conditional use is $300, $100 is non-refundable, $200 payable when approved. Rezoning is $500, plat fees are $50, special zoning hearing is $400. And we can sure circulate that if you did catch all of that.
Same as last year, this every changes that we get some money back, right?
Yeah, if they're not approved. Is there a motion to approve the fee schedule for the variance, conditional use, rezoning, plat fee, and special zoning hearings? Tom, thank you. Is there a second to that? Dave, thank you. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carries. The other one is 2021-3 building permit fees. That one got circulated too. Is there a motion to approve by Don? Is there a second? And Tim, any discussion on those fees? All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Last one is 2021-04, fees for the Director of Equalization Office on photocopies, $0 to $10 per page, pardon me, 11 to 50 copies, 50 cents per page, 51 through 100 copies is 25 cents per page, 101 and more is 15 cents. Is there a motion to approve that fee schedule? You want to see it? Okay. Faye? Is there a second for that? Tom, thank you. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Hey, we get through the paperwork, Christie? Okay, this one is the 911 maintenance for 2021 to First District Association of Local Governments. What's the cost on that? $3,500.
What was that last year? I remember, but
I don't.
That's for the 911 addressing that you're helping with, or?
okay.
E911 maintenance. Here, I'll let you look at it. Okay? It talks about some GIS stuff too.
That's been around. So we don't lose him.
Okay. Do you want to make a note in the minutes that the VSO report and register of deeds report for December will be?
GIS maintenance.
It's certainly more than $3,500, so that's.
GIS maintenance, like $8,000.
But this is the scope of work for county GIS 911.
Well, that's
Data
just,
maintenance, so it's just the nine.
just 911, because the other one wasn't $17,000 a year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it does say GIS in there, so.
But I think it's probably the 911 addressing.
So the first page, that's what it said, 911.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, you're really doing good today.
What's going on?
Okay, so can I have copies of those resolutions that for direct utilization when you? Anybody thought about new county vehicles or getting anything or?
You know what, I keep thinking about researching that lease deal, if you think it's something to pursue or not.
Yeah.
I think it makes
I thought
sense.
it would be I thought I would check with, gas line down here, or Jeep, and maybe Wolf, or some kind of a Ford. And, I don't know, maybe Sharps on a Chevy product or something, and see what we come up with. I was thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of 200, maybe a little over $200 a month, you could get a decent vehicle. And maybe at most, you get,
Yeah, that one, how agree with that.
They have no maintenance at all, and it's just, it's ongoing payment every month.
you're working, you don't have to lay out $20,000, $30,000.
Yeah, that's like you.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea.
And then it's all set to that.
911.
It's a benefit to
Or if I have to offer it to
an
you.
employee or something. You have to buy it out.
The standard lease is what, 10,000 miles a year, you can buy more, but I think the standard lease is
Is that
10,000.
standard?
Yeah, you know, term is, goes all over the place, I seen it from, could go close to 36 month on a lease, so you get longer than that too if you want. 36 is nice, that's the warranty, so.
Yeah.
I looked into it, but I just.
Yeah, I'll do some checking though.
Well, and
I care less what we bought.
I looked into this last one.
Should, I think it ours should be a home for it also, right?
Okay, now, so no more rest.
Let's get two of them. Can't even get the new ones.
Resolutions from the direct utilization, there's nothing about the resolution she presented in reference to A classification, 40 acres or 41 or whatever.
She said she was gonna write a letter to the people with regard to that. I'd like to see a copy of the letter, I guess.
Okay, so we're not acting on any, she didn't present anything there about that?
Yeah, we approved that, right?
I
I think we're gonna keep it at 41.
You left everything the same,
So officially
yeah.
couldn't do it till January 1st, so that's why I'm asking,
Oh,
right?
No, we just left it the same.
About the rest of these resolutions, 'cause we didn't act on that, did we?
Well,
We did.
We don't change the.
Yeah, I was gonna
We
say.
don't have to-
well, we had to change it. She was letting them slide at 40.
Well, that's, we don't have to change that sheet.
No, she needs to rectify the situation. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you had a chance to review this $3,500 statement. Is there a motion to approve? Don, Tom, got a second? Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I'll give that back to you, Christine. Yeah, Tyler's number goes around. Yeah, he's gonna get his number. Take care of you.
Do that have fun?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry.
We got it?
Is that phone call you've been waiting for, yeah?
Not yet.
You haven't heard any more on extra COVID money coming through?
Dawn didn't, I know they, I could ask Pam, she might know more. I know they were gonna submit that payroll, I know that.
Yes, you did another $500,000
I
or
wasn't here much
something.
last week, so I don't, cut it in. All right, thanks.
Yeah, that's his daughter.
No, she doesn't. They're gonna resubmit the payroll, this one I know they're gonna do, and but she hadn't really It's kinda crazy yesterday too, so.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
So we're still sending them.
She thought maybe, yeah, they're still sending because they're not, because there might be more funds available.
Dennis got me there, didn't he?
I thought there'd be all kinds of news fluff about South Dakota leading the nation in vaccinations per capita.
Yeah.
Somebody taking a lot of credit for that, but
We've been
we've been kind of quiet.
You gave one, you got a new pickup, huh?
I don't know, either that or washed it, one of the two. I saw it go by.
Oh, you seen it, I didn't see it over by the post office.
Wow, truck went by, pretty shiny.
That's not working out real well most places, or is it, that vaccine?
Well, it is, they're federal thing.
Yeah.
They thought they had it all planned out, except they got the last step and they said, well, who's gonna give a shot? And what was they just now and asked the dentist to give a shot?
Really? Florida said they were gonna try to, anybody over 65 is getting line to get it, they're saying they're gonna get 1,000 nurses to help with this, it's like, how do you need
We're gonna get 1,000
nurses?
nurses, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, there's a shortage of those.
Yeah, to me, I thought maybe that vaccine would be like gallon jugs or something, people drive through, you get a fresh needle each time. And-
You know, we talk about, you probably have to change your gloves every time, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, that's pretty expensive.
Well, my daughter's been doing, and she said she's been doing about 10 hours now.
Yeah, it's not very
You
many.
change your gloves and,
Draw it up and,
yeah,
Wow.
so it's not a very fast process.
oh, and now they're talking about doing half doses, did you see that?
Yeah, that's not, they don't.
Both the manufacturers said, don't do it.
No, and it's, and the FDA said, because they don't go to the work.
Yeah, exactly, never did any testing on it, so why
Well, we
do
were
it?
talking about instead of giving
Jeez,
those people where they already had one giving their second shot, they're saying, well, don't give them, we'll give it to somebody else. It's not the matter of shorting of vaccine right now, it's a matter of giving a shot.
Technically, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think Minnesota, they gave them in Minnesota already vials they've got, they only have used 30% of what they've gotten so far, so yeah, there's no
Well,
shortage
we're
of vaccine.
work, but we're saying that some places the vaccines from day to expired, because that would go on what we really want.
New York, or Cole was talking about these hospitals, if they don't, usually in a certain period of time, found it $100,000.
And they're not, and they won't get any more.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
That'd be the biggest thing.
I sent him one,
Then you see these wackadoos, you know, that pharmacist that kept pulling out of the refrigerator.
Because he didn't save some.
Yeah. So, I guess that'd be my biggest concern, more than anything, especially with that first one, see, they have to keep it at that cold temperature that, you know, for some reason or other, it doesn't get that cold temperature for the period of time it's supposed to, and then give me the drug and it becomes ineffective or what. I think hopefully it's available for people like me, it's, they get the bug to get out.
Well, something like Moderna doesn't need to be refrigerated.
it'll be a little bit
Yeah.
harsh.
And I see in England, there's a couple more new ones that are. I don't know if there's a factory like that.
They did it,
In Chicago yesterday, and they didn't snow. Still,
Really?
numbers are going down, I guess I haven't watched, the state numbers are not, or, where else? Is that here?
perfect.
People have.
Other than, I think, the clerk of court had one of theirs test positive, right?
Well, good, I'm married, working on it.
Sydney's husband tested positive, Sydney Hall, so she had to go home last Wednesday.
Did she go get tested though?
Well, someone said she could get tested, but if she has no symptoms, I heard they would, I don't know, unless she's a state employee, they let me through. I don't know, Patty is doing good, She doesn't have a taste and smell now. She's pretty much had every symptom there is, she said, but Dean has nothing. Her husband didn't get anything.
Crazy.
That's all I know. Yeah, because so Brenda had to come to work last Thursday. She wasn't supposed to work. The city had to go home, so Brenda had to come in. There's order. But someone said she told my sister she's supposed to be here tomorrow, so she must have got tested yesterday, hoping she can come back tomorrow. But Dean has to stay home for 14 days, even though so I don't know how Cindy can come back. I don't know. I don't understand half of this, so. Patty can come back to work on Friday if she's, 10 days. The 8th would be the earliest Patty could come back if she felt up to it. But Dean had to stay home until the 12th.
Yeah, you have to stay home longer if you're exposed than you were if you.
But he has no symptoms. He hasn't had anything.
Did the CDC lower the down from 14 to 10?
Yeah, I think they did.
And then 5 or 7 if you have a negative test or something like that.
Things are there.
All right, here we come.
Couldn't do it. Oh, very morning.
Gotta give you a hard time.
Why should this meeting be different than the other
Exactly.
104 that we've had? Well, I guess I have it here.
Congratulations, Sheriff.
Thank you.
No badge, no
I
gun.
was thinking that.
No badge, no gun.
That's not a short term damn too.
The old personal vehicle and everything.
I'm just a civilian now. I gotta stop by the bank on my way back to the office.
So rob it?
Huh? Count on my money, once a week.
It was.
Things going through all 2.5 minutes.
Well, Jimmy, I sure appreciate you, Barry, what you did.
Well, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I understand your state's attorney almost didn't get sworn in by the judge yesterday because he had his Green Bay Packers tie on.
Our owner,
And Judge
our
Flemmer,
owner I found out.
yeah, Judge Flemmer had his Minnesota Vikings face mask on.
Because I gave him a hard time about it.
Now that I
He said,
know
"Well, I'm
Green
a
Bay
part-
Packer
I'm a
fan,
part
I
owner
own
too."
Wow.
I suppose you can root for him then.
Who are you?
There's the jail census, 49 adults. Not really too much has changed there. Had 3 come in from Walworth County, 1 that came in last night. Old business, I do have we discussed this a couple weeks ago.
Before we move on to that, is Moody County a new customer of ours, or is it that they've worked with us before? They have, worked with us before. Yeah, they don't have their own jail, most time they use Sioux Falls. Sorry, Tyler.
No, you're all right.
I know their situation, you don't. I believe this was somebody that we had picked up on a warrant also, and, for them. So they're just, until they get ready to have them go through court, they're leaving them here. Sure. So, but yeah, Troy has used us, Troy Wellman is the sheriff from there, a good friend of mine. He's used Roberts County. He doesn't have a jail, Minnehaha County, when they went through some of their turmoil, where they had that work release center, they had a fire, so, they're building down there, I don't know if they're done yet or not, but, Troy's been hauling prisoners all over the state, kind of like Walworth County's going through right now, so. The, live scan contract that he just mentioned is for the fingerprint machine, we talked about it, but, and you guys really didn't have any problem with it, other than it's for this new year. and you wanted to defer on it until after the first of the year, so that was one of the last things that I had for cleanup. So, the sheriff has signed it in the past, so I guess what I would propose is a motion to approve that contract. What we call it now. But it's an annual expense, $5,459 is the grand total, and that's the maintenance and support agreement on it. And I told you in the past that all of that is computerized and laser scanning, and in Bay County, I had the main laser thing that reads the fingerprints go bad, and there wasn't even an installation charge on it. They shipped the parts in, they had a tech come out and do it, and the agreement covered everything, and we also had to replace the printer once there. I never got a bill. So, but they're doing updates to the computer system, to the software remotely, pretty regular, so I think that's something that needs to continue, and happy to answer any questions.
And they will give you the razor, and the razor blades, huh? 'Cause I think they gave us the machine. Did they?
How much is
We got the machine for free.
Yeah, and the one in Day County was given to us, and it's about a $30,000 piece of equipment, all said and done. That laser scanner was like $10,000, and we didn't have to pay anything, not a dime.
It's accounted for in your budget, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Is there a motion to approve? Don, second by Tim. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And then we will, he'll sign off on it, we'll send it in, IDEMIA is the name of the company, they will sign off and send it back, and then he can bring you the signed copies for the auditor's file.
The only thing that we have on new business is we did have a vehicle crash. During the snowstorm last week, during some of those whiteout conditions, we were transporting a prisoner in and hit a snowbank and it pulled the car into a guardrail. So we're looking at right now, Barry talked to me just a little bit ago, we made some phone calls regarding looking at the possibility of having to bring in a surplus vehicle if what ends up happening is the vehicle gets totaled out, because I think it's at just over 200,000 miles on it right now.
Got told about, really.
Well, initial contact has been made with Claims Associates, but I haven't sent them the paperwork yet because the patrol wrote the crash for us then, the standard procedure to have an outside agency write it. But Sergeant Johnson's been on vacation for the last 9 days. He comes back to work tomorrow. So as soon as we get that report, crash report from him, then he'll be able to fax all of that down to Claims Associates and get the process started. The vehicle is still in our parking lot, but he hit front end into the guardrail and caved it in enough that it punctured the radiator. So with over 200,000 on it, are they gonna repair it or are they gonna total it out? So I reached out to Surplus Property where we got that last vehicle from, and waiting for a phone call back from Monty McNaught to see if they can have anything available, just to keep our options or get our options moving early on.
Sure.
So we'll have it in the lot until they can get an adjuster up here to look at it, and then we will, so I haven't even gotten an estimate on it yet. The trooper will have made an estimate in his report based on their common way of figuring these things. And just like we do, I haven't even looked at what the price would be, but it's gonna be in excess of 10 grand, I'm sure, because it's, the fenders are okay, but the hood, the grill, the push bumper, the radiator, and I don't know, but there's probably a transmission cooler on there. Given the age and miles, there's a possibility that they'll pull it out, so we'll just have to wait and see.
That's pretty likely. Was there any injuries? No,
No.
no, he had made an arrest on a warrant up in New Effingham, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and was on his way back. That person was causing a disturbance in New Effingham, so we have warrants for her, so he just picked up on the warrants and was bringing her back. Yeah.
Did you have the person checked out medically?
Yep, they were checked, the nurse checked her out.
Okay.
Okay. The only, Barry asked me if there's anything that I needed to get put on here this morning, and one thing I forgot to, add on here is our new deputy started, yesterday, was his first day. He did sign the 3-year contract, so we do have that on file. He's gotten all of his paperwork in, so only things that we have left to get set up is he needs to complete his physical up at the hospital. And I've already set a time for him with the Assistant Police Department to do his firearms certification. They have a new police officer that they have starting that's going to be doing theirs on the week of the 18th. So he's going to go out there and join and do his use of force training and firearms certification with them. He turns 21 on the January 25th, so he's not able to do any law enforcement duties until that time. But we'll have him his firearm certification and everything prepared, so that by the time that day gets here, he'll be ready to be in uniform and working. Not by himself, but yep, that's what we've been having him do. So
He's training with another deputy.
he was so he'll be training with a few of the deputies as well as myself. So we'll get him off and going as quick as we can. But he's excited. He's excited to be here. He's living in town. So yeah, I think he'll fit in good.
What was his name again?
Brody Farmer.
Just so don't forget, you only Dawn will need a copy of that contract.
Oh, okay.
He's not from this area, is he?
Horace, North Dakota.
Because he near farmer, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a lot of farmers.
I got the jail already, number 3.
I made mention of the last week of the going to Wilmot to have to meet with their city council and their mayor. I was able to get in contact that day. Actually, last Tuesday, I spoke with Jerry Lukemeyer over the phone. I have a feeling that conversation is going to go probably a different direction than what we actually maybe originally intended it to go. They are seriously looking at the possibility of contracting with some sort of law enforcement. They have a citizen down there that has been, working with them and trying to work with them to possibly look at the possibility of getting a police department restarted in Wilmot. But, well, and that's what Jerry Lukemeyer and the chief of police here in Siston grew up together, so they're pretty close, and he was asking for some advice about this process, and I think they're really looking at having some contract law enforcement down there. So I think that's more the direction that the conversation is probably going to go with what we might be able to do with them. I think what they're able to contribute financially is much more significant than what we would have been asking with the dispatching fees. Like I said, they have somebody down there that was granted some money from a family member who had passed, and that's what she wants to put it towards is law enforcement. So I'm just giving you just a preliminary heads up that may be the direction that we end up going in that circumstance.
We've had conversations with them over the year, asking them, but doing some contract work with them.
How was that? The subject came up, you know, in my 2 years that I've been here, but then there was talk, but then they never reached out.
Work, I mean, could we, how much would that cost us if we, I mean, I'm just asking, that's gonna cost the town a pile of money then.
What essentially I would like to do is try, you know, to work with the auditor and try to figure out if we can come up with an idea of really how much does it approximately cost per hour to have a police officer. So that when communities want to have that conversation about, hey, you know, we'd like 10 hours a week, just somebody down here driving through town, we can say, yeah, this is at the cost of this is what it would cost you approximately, and we'll take care of everything else. You don't have to, you know, we'll log our hours through our dispatching center so that you're aware, you know, and we can give you a receipt every month of how, when we were there, what we were there doing, and they can.
I think Janessa at some point in time pulled together some numbers at what it would cost per hour, so we might want to check with her.
Yep, well, yeah, I think we did that when we were kind of visiting, we were having those kind of preliminary talks with Ross Salt.
Yeah, that's maybe what it was, yeah.
So I think, you know, and part of that conversation, you know, really has to ultimately trying to see which communities might be on board with something like that, because if we can get ourselves to a number that, you know, we can look at adding another deputy. I know that's a cost, but we can get ourselves to that point. I think the relief that it would provide, you know, our deputy staff out there, and relieving the frequency of overtime would be really huge. That extra body, even adding this extra body of roadie into the schedule for, you know, late February, you know, possibly March, you know, what it will do to our schedule as far as freeing up and making it easier to get through months without the extra overtime, you know, that might save us in that area as well. But I just wanted to make you aware that it's just something that's kind of happening, and I'll keep you aware of anything that transpires there.
You're in contact with Jerry then?
Yep. Jerry called me directly, and we had kind of a brief conversation about it, and so I think we'll visit a little bit more about it. And I'm sure their city council has a really good idea. They've been having that conversation down there for at least a year. I know it's been going on for at least a year, where they've been seriously.
They might be one person to talk about it, you know, talk a little bit about it.
You know, and, you know, I don't know where Summit's at. You know, if it's something that they would ever consider, even if it's you know, a small contribution, to be able to have somebody and kind of assign somebody to that region of our county that can, you know, it's just like the city assistant. It just relieves the weight on the whole department. You know, and then the officer that's working there has a better relationship with the people, because that's they know them, they know who
For the good guys and the bad guys.
Yes, yep. It just makes it a lot easier. It's a lot easier. So. Anything else for me?
I have a couple things.
Yeah.
First of all, I was out there last Friday and receptionist Lesnar. What a pleasant person. She was just outstanding,
I will pass that on.
you know. And I trust you guys signed off on my pistol permit.
They wanted to talk to you about that.
Yeah.
They did that background check.
There was-
Looking so good.
We hadn't gotten to the point where we were gonna ask for the executive session yet, Faye, but now let's bring it up.
Whatever. Mine's good until the 21st, so whatever. The other thing question is, I saw the voucher come through on the nurse, and we scheduled 30 hours a week.
Okay.
I saw 40, 39, and 37. Let's
Well,
try.
I'll take a look at that, and it's actually good that you brought that up, because I met with Don about something this morning. We had a situation last Friday where we'd served a search warrant, we brought 2 prisoners in, and both of them needed to have blood drawn from them. And we called her to do it. So we're looking at the process of her tracking that time that she comes in and does that. Because we currently do that for the ambulance. In the ambulance, we call the ambulance, they come in, they track it, officer signs off on why it is that they were there. And then the court's able to ask for that reimbursement. So I talked with Don a little bit, and we're gonna look at making sure that we track that and work with our state's attorney so that when those court proceedings are happening, for that time that she's getting called out there, that's probably extra time, which it more than likely would have been on a Friday evening on a holiday, that we're able to seek some sort of compensation for that. So, but yeah, I agree. 30 hours is.
This is something that probably Tyler and I haven't gone over. When Joanne is there working, we try to utilize her to do the blood draws, but any other time when she's not working, it's usually to call the paramedics. But I think there was a problem with getting a hold of one of them. Or maybe there wasn't on Saturday, I guess, I don't know, or Friday, whichever day it was.
So it's something I'll look into and get that figured out.
Yeah.
And,
She's new and position's new, so yeah, there's gonna be a lot
Well,
of things to
and
work out.
she's trying to do a lot of catch up from not having a nurse for as long as we did. So,
She's, as far as what I've seen so far, and I've had, minimal contact with her, but on the things that we have worked together on, she's really getting the jail staff there up to par. So
Okay.
she's working with CDP doctors on making sure that, she's able to make a direct call into the doctors here and get the medications ordered and needed and things like that. So some things are happening a lot faster. Inmates are ending up with the medications that they need much quicker.
But I trust she's looking at utilizing IHS also, though.
Yes.
oh, absolutely.
First and not most eligible.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
No, that was one of the things, that was one of the first things that we had discussed, and I know she's doing it, because I know that IHS is, that there's people going to appointments there more so probably than CDP.
Did you ever hear anything back from that letter you sent out to the tribal members that were in here with regard to that prisoner? Okay. Maybe we won't take as many as somebody that just responded.
If there's anything else on this,
all right, thank you.
appreciate it. Yeah.
You guys.
Best of luck to you, Barry.
I, just so you guys are aware, I have visited with Tyler, and today is my last day with the county. However, I've made myself available, and I'm not trying to get more hours or anything like that. I'm gonna do it because it's the right thing for me to do.
Yeah.
But there are certain things when it comes to the bookkeeping and the accounting that I'm gonna come back up and work with him on. But that will be on me. But I wanted you guys to be aware of it, that I've offered and he's accepted it. Because there's just some of this stuff that I can't, I've written him a lot of lengthy, I think it's 14 pages and I'm not done, of step-by-step instructions when it comes to the accounting procedures, a lot of it in the civil process.
Okay.
And there's some of that stuff that I'm just gonna have to work with him on, and I made the comment before, I'm not gonna leave him with any kind of a mess.
Yeah.
So, but I wanted you guys to be aware of it, and I'm not here going, how much are you gonna pay me for it, because I'm not gonna do that. It's just the right thing to do.
Appreciate it.
I do have one more comment. When I'm standing there doing my business, I see that, I believe it's the PBT list of everybody that owes. I thought we gave, a long time ago, the debt that people weren't supposed to be charging. I mean, it was a, 8.5 by 11 sheet of a lot of.
Oh,
names.
posted at dispatch, at reception.
Yes.
Well, I think a lot of that is old,
Well,
but no, Debbie's staying on top of that pretty darn well. Tyler can check.
Yeah, I will. I'll look at it. I seem to remember when I was going through some instruction that she was giving me about how things work in her area. There were some circumstantial things that would come up regarding, people's pay periods and when their pay periods correlated with when their PBTs or UA times were. And so they were providing a little bit of leeway in some certain situations, but I'll look into it with what.
And if they're old, it's gotta be 2-3 years ago, because I mean, we got hit by the auditor.
Yeah.
That's not supposed to happen. Yeah, so if they're old, I don't know, if you can dispense with them or whatever, but yeah, it's quite a list.
I'll take a look at that.
Because no more charging.
Well, no, and, like he said, she has made, arrangements with, different ones that we know when they get paid. So she lets them have so much, but
And the reason that would be is because the reason it would be beneficial to let somebody pass on that $10 and pay the next day or 2 days later when they PBT would be the fact that they're going to be sitting in jail at much more cost to us a day when financially the burden to them is really just, they need to get maybe they're struggling with finances as far as that. But yeah, I totally agree with you. Letting them rack up a charge account for PBT tubes and things like that is.
I think that the iPhone they're carrying around, they make sure that goes paid. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Sorry.
So, yep, we will work on that, and I'll give you an update on that next week.
you'd be surprised on how many of those cell phones, though, that if they get away from somebody's free public Wi-Fi, they don't have any service anymore because they haven't blocked minutes. But there's this free, they can piggyback onto somebody's free Wi-Fi, and that's how they're making some phone calls too.
All right. Thank you. Happy New Year.
Any questions or anything on that rent car, between now and Tuesday, just
Okay.
get in touch with me.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Again, congratulations, Tyler.
Thank you.
Very, thank you very much.
Yeah, you bet.
Appreciate it. Something needed it. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hope to see you again sometime,
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah. You wanna shake?
Yeah.
Some things you just gotta shake.
Yeah.
Thank you for staying with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Well.
We'll shake your hands, Barry, but no offense, though. Whoops.
Oh.
That was cute.
Thank you, Charlie.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Oh, good.
What's that?
Well, I unplugged it, so now it's not good for everybody, but
Single
I think the end unplugged.
What's that?
Hours for January 1st.
Oh, yeah, I guess, how do I need to do that?
Just write down the hours you work.
Just write down the hours? Okay.
Yeah. If you want motion or?
Yeah. Give me one.
I hope we got enough money to cover all this.
Let's just take some out of the.
Must be a cookie jar
So
downstairs.
the cash continues over. Yeah. Big mistake we made.
I agree, I don't like that at all.
If I have it in my budget, I'm gonna spend it.
You can see some person who paid towards the end of the year.
What do we got left, pay bills? That's the
I
last thing.
think so, we got everything checked off for now. Should you just do the wage scale next week, or do you want to, not on the agenda?
No, we can approve that.
Yeah, it was all decided, right?
What's that?
The wage scales.
On the salaries?
We haven't done that already, huh? Did you get a chance to review it? You're good with it? Is there a motion to approve? Don, is there a second? Tom, thank you. Any discussion? Okay, are you good with it, or you want some time to?
Hopefully
I
it's.
mean, I assumed everything was plugged in correctly, I guess I didn't go through it, but.
Yeah. Understand.
You can wait a week if you want, doesn't matter to me.
Is it raisin?
No, wait a week.
Oh,
You can raise it if you want too, that's.
that's what I thought it was raisin.
All in favor, you good with it? All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. You want simple? I don't think you're gonna get a chance to pay bills. Motion by Carlson, to pay the claims. Is there a second? Tom, thank you. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. For paid. Motion to adjourn. Yes, he's not there. He's boycotting.
I'm thinking for something, I don't know. I get more people to get on that airplane with them.
Motion by Carlson to adjourn. Your second to that by Fay. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Motion carries. Thank you. As long as you're not tired of listening to me, it
Never.
seems to go okay. Yes, so. Thank you for all your input over the years, for what's to come. Yeah, it makes it a whole lot easier, for sure. Okay, my to-do list on the way home. Done.
Well, that was a fast meeting today,
Yeah.
to the point.
This live stream is brought to you by the Sisseton Courier, First Savings Bank, Dakota Pawn and Thrift, Stilson Service with Marathon Fuels. Thanks for watching and have a great day.
Sounds good, Tom. We'll see ya. Oh, I don't want to be here.